Amy. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you just a quick sample of a sunflower design on this green glass wine bottle. I am going to be using 3 AMAGIC paintbrushes. And I think these are basically about the same ones I've been using. I have a 14, a 12, and a 4. Then I have 2 of the Deerfoot Stipplers, and that would be an 8 and a 4. And then my fine liner Westonia nail brush. Paints I'm using are all FolkArt paints, and I use a combination of the multi-surface and the enamels, and a lot of times it's based on what colors I have or that are available. So I might switch to like the multi-surface if they don't have it in the enamel. Anyways, I'm using yellow ochre, Italian sage, burnt umber, which I need to get some more of, thicket, peridot, bear or teddy bear brown, my finger in the way, sorry about that, wicker white, and school bus yellow. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by pouncing in the centers, and I will be using the number 8 Deerfoot Stippler. I'm going to load the front part of the brush with the teddy bear brown, the back side of the brush with the burnt umber, and I'm running out of burnt umber, so bear with me on this. Alright, so we're going to come up here, and I'm going to do, these are going to be partially opened buds at the top, kind of out here to the side, and I'm just quickly pouncing. Then I'm going to do 3 open ones, so I'm just doing a circular motion right here, maybe tap in a little bit of the dark brown, and again I'm running out of this color, so I gotta be careful with it, because I do also like to go back over them as I finish putting in the leaves. Alright, so I'm doing a little circular motion, and then coming down here, and I'll finish up with the last one down at the bottom here. Again, just very simple, just tap in a circle, and there you go. Oh, thank you. Sorry about that. My furnace or my air conditioning runs. Okay, so try to see if I got it in here. I'm going to tip into the yellow ochre and the school bus yellow. Just do a quick blending stroke. I'm not going to take forever with this. If you want to, the proper way to load it is actually to get the paint 3/4 of the way up the brush, and I'm just going to start after doing a few blending strokes. Alright, so here we go. I'm just pushing down and pulling and turning. If you feel like you're not getting enough paint or they're not opaque enough, add some more paint or go back over it again. Give it some dry time, however you want to do it. For the purpose of this video, I'm not going to worry too much about it because I am just going to be wiping this off and continuing on with the next video when I'm ready. Alright, so these are my partially open. Then I'm going to come around and just do, I like to turn the brush, so I'm pushing it down, turning it, pushing it down, turning it. But I like to do it in different directions. I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to do every one of them in a different direction, but I just like to turn them and have, they're not all going the same way. And they can. I mean, if you want to create yours with them going the same way, it's just a suggestion. And you can also double layer these. For the purpose of this video, I'm just doing the main layer, 1 layer of petals. And in some of these, I like to actually pull some of the color from the center. I'm not actually doing that right at the moment. I mean, maybe some, but not too much. But that can kind of give it some neat streaks too when you do that. Because on this, it is kind of transparent, so I would probably go back over it just to make sure it's more durable, that it's, you know, opaque and not transparent. And with this type of a flower, it's not too hard to do because you just go back over what you've already painted. Pretty easy. All right, I'm going to pick up my Deerfoot Stippler again, go back into the colors just like I did before, and you'll see that I just come out here. I might even come out a little bit more, round that out some. And then I'm going to come up here. Okay, so I'm going to round it out a little bit, come down here. Again, I want to give it a little bit more color around the edge, but you don't have to, you know, work on it too much. You know, like to overwork it. All right, so here we go with this one. I'm just going to, and I like to do this just for the fact that when I create the petals, this kind of finishes it off so that it doesn't look like you just stuck your petals over the top of the center, if that makes sense. This kind of finishes it off nicely. And if you notice, these are not all going in the same direction, and that's fine. That was intentional. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is pick up my little nail brush. I'm going to stick it into the thicket, kind of pull it out and roll it, stick it into the peridot, do the same thing. So what I'm using this brush for basically is to paint in the connecting stems. Now they're thin. You can go over it again if you want with your, say you want to do this with your chisel edge of your flat brush. You can do that as well. If you're not concerned about it being too thin, then just leave it alone. Especially if you're painting a lot of leaves, which many of you know that I love leaves. So that's kind of how I roll. But there again, if you don't want to do it, that's fine too. So I'm just kind of making it like it's coming up there. They're all connected. Just like that. And again, I'm not going to worry too much about it because you guys know me. I put a lot of leaves on my projects. All right, so I'm going to do the thicket and the peridot, do blending strokes, and then I'm going to start filling them in. All right, so here we go. I'm just doing very simple. I'm kind of doing it sideways here. Simple wiggle leaves. And I can come in from here and go at it again if I want. So I can go like this because I want the leaves to be more in a kind of a down motion, not an up. And again with these, I'd probably go over them again too because they're pretty light. And let me move this dish because I want to make sure I'm getting my project in the screen here. So again, I'm just pushing down, and wiggling. And then I can turn the bottle, or I can just keep it like this and come down like that. And I know a lot of people say they get frustrated with the leaves. Just get some wax paper and go to town practicing. Because I really feel like the more your hand gets used to the movement, it's like you're training your hand to do the movement of making the leaves, the better off it's going to be for you. All right, so let's see where else we need, because I want to put some up here, and I can go over the petals sorry, the petals of the flower, just very lightly. Try not to get too much of the yellow in here. Finish the one side, come back and go over and finish the rest of it. And then just come down through the center. Got a little yellow in there, that's fine. And I hope you like this video. If you have any questions while I'm creating this, please let me know. I'm going to come up here and do one. Now, notice too that I'm just doing the front of the bottle for the purpose of the video. If I were creating this for one of my glass lighted bottles, I would do the entire bottle. The other ones I typically don't do the whole thing. A lot of times is if it's a Jägermeister bottle where it's kind of square, rectangle shape, that you wouldn't typically see the other side anyways. If I do the entire bottle, then it makes it to where you can turn the bottle any direction. Let's see if it's in there nicely. Now let's just kind of turn it. I just want to make sure I don't roll onto my design. I'm going to make this little V, my little V to follow. Actually, I'm going to do it by the neck right now. And I do typically, when I'm going with a lighted bottle, I do typically continue up the neck of the bottle. They're fun. Bottles are fun to paint on. Glass is fun to paint on. It's probably my favorite surface to paint on. It's a little bit more challenging at times. Just so that you know, it's not as easy as painting on paper or the canvas, wood, that type of thing. It can be a little bit more difficult, but that's okay. I like challenges. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do another one here. Kind of scoop it in. I am grabbing some yellow. Oops, I did that wrong. If your paintbrush gets full while you're painting and you feel like you need to clean it out, just wipe it off on a paper towel or a rag, whatever you're using. It's pretty easy. All right, go do another one over here. Make sure I turn my brush the right way. Now you can rotate the colors, but because the bottle is dark, I'm doing the lighter on the outside. Like that. All right, so what I'm going to do now is come in here, put some of my regular, just little one-stroke leaves, kind of fill in a little bit. And I don't have to do a lot, but I am going to come over here and do a few. And I could come over here and do some more of these leaves, but I think I'm just going to do this type for right now. Not a biggie. Just my little fillers. And maybe add some in here. If you don't want to add all these leaves, please feel free to make it your own and stop, because I can get carried away, and you all know that if you follow me. I'm a leaf person. Actually, I'm a flower person, a leaf person. I like them all. All right, so we're going to come up here too, because I don't want this to be bare, clear at the top. So I am going to come up here, put a few easy little flower or leaves. And even just fill this in. I can make it kind of turn this way. Just very simple. Okay. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to flip here and wipe off my little liner brush a little bit. And I'm going to come in, dip it into the white, and I'm not showing you this. Uh-oh. Did I get paint on there? Okay. I'm dipping it into the white and the yellow. and come back in even and dip it in there again. And then I'm going to come in here and just put some dots, or not really dots, but you can do this with the actual Deerfoot Stippler too, or I'm just adding in just a little bit around them. You can do this with dots if you want. It's up to you. Or you can leave it off if you don't like it. Just very simple. It just gives it a little bit more interest. All right, let's see. I go like that again. You know, or the other thing you could do is do dots instead of doing this part. Do dots around it. Or maybe just part of it. Doesn't matter. So you have that. All right, one last thing I'm going to do. And again, with this part, you can leave it out. But I'm going to dip my number 4 into the Italian sage. And I'm just going to come in here and just add just some other leaves. Maybe give it just a little bit more interest because I'm adding another color into it. And I'm just going to lightly take the chisel edge and do that. And then just come down here and just wherever you feel like you need to maybe add a little bit of something more. And yes, it can pick up some of the colors from underneath. If you want to give it some dry time, feel free to do so. That's up to you. If you don't like it, leave it out. Like I said, I've tried to use some different colors just to, you know, give it a little bit more interest. But again, this may not be everybody's thing, since we're all different, which is great. And actually this color must have a lot of pigment in it because it's not real thin, which I like. Actually, I used to use this color a lot back in my beginning of painting on glass. And just cute. It just makes it stand out a little bit more. Because this other color with the bottle being dark just kind of blends in a little bit. And just fun. Get anything that you see on my videos that you don't like, just leave them out. If you're creating the design and you just want to, I kind of like it, but I don't really want all that in there, leave it out. Make it yours. Let it speak to you. Oops, almost went into the wrong paint. Whoops, sorry. And I hit you with my brush. All right, so there we have it. I think that's very pretty. Oh, and I rolled it over on the paper. See, I did it right there. That's what I say. You gotta, one thing you gotta watch. And I'll just easily fix it up. Sorry about that. Yep. So I did that wrong. And then I'm forgetting one piece that I wanted to add. And here comes my air conditioning, so hold on here. Alright, so I'm going to dip, I did forget this one little part. I'm going to dip my number 4 Deerfoot Stippler, and then I'm just going to sporadically place, just periodically throughout the design. And again, this is another piece that if you don't like it, don't put it in. And I'm just doing it, trying to do it lightly. Again, just in different places, just to fill it in, kind of like a filler flower. But trying to do it lightly. Again, if you don't like it, then leave it out. And I'm just turning it as I go. I got it in yellow. Sorry about that. Get it into a color you don't want. Just tap it out. So I wasn't too freaky about the error here because I remembered that I was going to do this part. And you could even do it, at times I do it in gold, which makes it even prettier. But there you go. Again, you don't like it, leave it out. Alright, I appreciate you stopping by. If you like this video, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. New to my channel, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. Before you leave, if you would, hit that share button that you'll see underneath the video. Please share this on your social network with all your family and friends. I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much, and until the next time, please stay safe and healthy, and you have a good one.